Are pests threatening the tranquility of your garden? Imagine a world where your precious plants are under siege. Aphids sucking the life out of your roses, slugs, a slow-moving menace, feasting on your lettuce, caterpillars munching through your cabbage leaves. It's a battleground out there. But what if there were natural and effective ways to fight back? Ways to shield your green sanctuary and restore its vitality without resorting to harsh chemicals. Discover natural and effective ways to protect your plants and keep your garden thriving. To protect your garden, you first need to understand your enemy. The world of garden pests is vast and varied, with each critter bringing its own unique set of challenges. Let's begin with aphids, tiny insects that love to feast on your plant's tender new growth. These minuscule monsters suck the sap right out of your plants, leaving them weakened and susceptible to disease. Next, we have slugs. These nocturnal nuisances will sneak into your garden under the cover of darkness and make a meal out of your leaves, stems, and even your ripe fruits and vegetables. They're especially fond of young, tender plants, so your seedlings are at particular risk. And then there are caterpillars. While they may transform into beautiful butterflies or moths, their larval stage can be devastating to your garden. They're voracious eaters that can consume an astonishing amount of foliage in a surprisingly short time. Each of these pests leaves a distinct signature on your plants. Aphids cause curled, yellowing leaves and may leave behind a sticky residue known as honeydew. Slugs will leave irregular, ragged holes in your leaves and a shiny slime trail in their wake. Caterpillars, on the other hand, tend to eat from the edges of the leaves inwards, often leaving only the skeleton of the leaf behind. Identifying these signs early is crucial in preventing a full-blown infestation. A few aphids today could be hundreds tomorrow. A single slug might invite its friends over for a feast. And a handful of caterpillars could quickly defoliate your favorite plants. But don't despair. While these pests may seem daunting, they're not unbeatable. By understanding their habits and identifying their presence early, you can take effective action to protect your garden. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand these common garden pests and the damage they can do, the better equipped you'll be to defend your garden against them. With this information at your disposal, you're well on your way to maintaining a healthy, thriving garden. Knowing what you're dealing with is the first step towards a pest-free garden. Now that you know your pests, let's build some defenses. Picture this: a fortress that shields your precious plants from the onslaught of unwelcome invaders. That's precisely what we're going to construct, using natural barriers and traps. These defenses are not only effective but also eco-friendly, ensuring your garden stays vibrant and safe. First up are barriers. They're like the walls of our fortress, keeping out pests and protecting our plants. One common and easily available barrier is netting. It's lightweight, easy to install, and perfect for keeping away birds, deer, and insects. You can drape it over plants or create a canopy using stakes. Another barrier option is floating row covers. These covers create a physical barrier between pests and your plants without blocking sunlight or rain. They're especially useful for protecting seedlings and young plants from pests like aphids and caterpillars. Now let's talk about traps. Traps are the moats of our fortress, catching pests before they can reach your plants. A simple and effective trap is the beer trap. Just dig a small hole in your garden, place a shallow dish filled with beer, and watch as slugs and snails are drawn to it and trapped. For flying insects, sticky traps can be a great solution. You can make one at home using bright yellow cardboard coated with a sticky substance. The yellow color attracts the insects, and the sticky coating ensures they can't escape once they land. Both these traps are simple to set up, and can be made using everyday household items, making them not just effective, but also cost-friendly. Remember, the key to successful pest control is persistence and regular monitoring. Keep a close eye on your garden, replenish your traps as needed, and adjust your barriers to accommodate the growth of your plants. With these barriers and traps, you're well on your way to a pest-free garden. You're not just a gardener now, you're a guardian, protecting your green charges from the marauders of the natural world. And that, my friends, is a role worth embracing. But barriers and traps aren't your only allies in this battle. As we delve deeper into the world of natural pest control, we discover that some of our best weapons against pests are actually other insects and plants. Yes, you heard that right. Not all insects are harmful, and certain plants can act as a natural deterrent against pests. Let's start with beneficial insects. These are insects that prey on pests, helping to keep their population in check. For instance, ladybugs and lacewings are excellent at controlling aphids, a common garden pest. They consume these pests in large numbers, making them a gardener's best friend. So, next time you see a ladybug or a lacewing in your garden, remember, they're on your side, working tirelessly to protect your plants. But how do we attract these beneficial insects? One way is by providing them a suitable habitat. Planting a variety of flowers and herbs that flower at different times of the year can provide food and shelter for these insects, encouraging them to stay and help out in your garden. Speaking of plants, let's talk about companion planting. This strategy involves planting certain plants together because they help each other in some way. Some plants, like marigolds, garlic, and chives, are known to repel specific pests. For example, marigolds release a scent that deters aphids and other pests, while garlic and chives can ward off insects that damage vegetable crops. To integrate these plants into your garden, simply plant them close to the plants you want to protect. You might consider planting a border of marigolds around your vegetable patch, or interplanting garlic and chives among your crops. These plants not only repel pests, but also add diversity and beauty to your garden. So by attracting beneficial insects and using companion planting strategies, we can create a natural defense system that protects our garden from pests. It's a beautiful way of working with nature, rather than against it, to maintain a healthy, thriving garden. With these allies by your side, your garden is better prepared to defend against pests. Sometimes nature needs a helping hand. Despite our best efforts with barriers, traps, and beneficial insects, some pests might still persist. That's where natural pesticides come in, the final defense in our arsenal against garden pests. One potent solution is neem oil, an organic pesticide derived from the neem tree. This versatile oil disrupts the life cycle of pests at all stages, from larvae to adults, and it's safe for your plants, pets, and the environment. To use it, mix a few teaspoons of neem oil with a quart of water and a little dish soap to help the oil blend with the water. Then gently spray the mixture directly onto your plants, making sure to cover all surfaces. Remember to apply it in the early morning or late evening to avoid the heat of the day, which can cause it to evaporate quickly. Another natural pesticide option is diatomaceous earth. It's a powder made from fossilized aquatic organisms called diatoms. This non-toxic substance works by causing pests to dehydrate and die. To apply, simply dust your plants with the powder, focusing on areas where pests are most likely to appear. Keep in mind that diatomaceous earth can be harmful to beneficial insects as well, so use it sparingly, and only when necessary. For those dealing with fungal problems, baking soda mixed with water makes an effective natural fungicide. Just a tablespoon of baking soda in a gallon of water creates a solution that can keep your plants fungus-free. Spray it on your plants every couple of weeks as a preventative measure. Remember, the key to successful pest control lies in the balance. While these natural pesticides can be highly effective, they should be used as a last resort, after non-lethal methods like barriers, traps, beneficial insects, and companion planting. And most importantly, always follow the application guidelines for safety and effectiveness. It's better to apply less more often than to overwhelm your garden with a heavy dose all at once. These natural pesticides can be the final piece in your garden's defense against pests. They offer a safe, eco-friendly option to keep your garden thriving naturally. Let's recap what we've learned about natural pest control. We've navigated through the world of common garden pests, from the minuscule aphids to the notorious slugs and caterpillars. Understanding these pests and the damage they cause is the first step in safeguarding your garden. We've explored the use of barriers and traps, simple yet effective methods to keep pests at bay. Remember, a net or a floating row cover can make all the difference, and don't underestimate the power of a well-placed beer trap or sticky trap. But it's not all about defense. We've also delved into the realm of beneficial insects, the unsung heroes of the garden. Ladybugs and lacewings are nature's pest control agents, tirelessly working to keep those pesky populations in check. And let's not forget about companion planting, where marigolds, garlic, and chives can serve as valuable allies in your garden's defense. Finally, we've discussed natural pesticides, powerful tools in your gardening arsenal. Neem oil and diatomaceous earth can provide the knockout punch when needed, but remember to use them wisely and follow application guidelines for the best results. So there you have it, your guide to natural pest control, a blend of knowledge, strategy, and nature's own tools. Empower your garden with these natural defenses, and watch your plants thrive pest-free. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more gardening tips.